you talked about enjoying the violence inside on the defensive line in an ESPN article. How true is that, and why is that?
Absolutely, yeah. I think that I came in as a defensive end, played majority defensive end in high school, as well as that first fall camp my freshman year at Stanford. And there's more finesse, I guess, that's involved on the outside, and you have more time, a lot of time to think, even though it's milliseconds, split seconds. You really do have more time to think, and you can kind of overanalyze situations, and being a little bit more off the ball and watching a tackle's kick, you can I guess assume things that aren't really there. But playing inside, everything happens so quick, and there's just so much force involved with 335-pound athletes double teaming you, sometimes triple teaming you.
Athletes.
Yeah, there are athletes out there. I mean, we got some guys with really good feet on our team, really big guys. But yeah, so playing inside there, ones and threes, and even head up zero. The speed of the game, it's just really sped up, and it happens really fast, and you kind of have to have a chip on your shoulder of a lot of aggressiveness, and so it's always welcome.
Yeah, talking to Harisson Phillips from Stanford right here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, brought to you by Harman Solar. And last year, I also thought was interesting that you guys talked a lot about the fact that you were the favorites last year. Oddly, this year you're not the favorite, but it seems like you're in a really good position to have a really good year. Was it odd for you guys to be picked to win the conference last year?
I don't think so. I think that we were coming off of a fantastic year as a Rose Bowl champion. We were finished number 2 or number 3 in the nation that season, and we had a lot of the pieces coming back, and there were still some questions about the key players that we lost, and we did lose a significant amount of players that year. 7 or 8 NFL draft picks, a couple free agents.
Good problem to have.
Yeah, for sure. So it was proper that we were definitely in question for the Pac-12 championship. But I believe in the other years that I've been here when we won it, I think there was 3 years in the last 5, right, I believe, they weren't picked to win in any of those years.
Yeah, that's right.
And so, last season was not what we had all hoped, but that's because we have high expectations for what Stanford football culture is supposed to be. So you can't say a 10-win season is an extremely disappointment, but it was a little bit in our sense, right? Sun Bowl champions with 10 wins is a pretty good season when you think about Stanford football for the last 100 years. It's kind of crazy in the last 5.
10 wins is a great year, I think, for 99% of the program.
Yes, and so that, being able to see that we had 10 wins, and then we have this many returners coming back with a lot more maturity and growth from those people who have significant playing time. I guess it maybe was a little bit of a shot that we weren't on the list a little higher in the conference, but we really do not care. It's for the fans and the media to kind of scrutinize and debate over. We show up, we play football, and we walk out 1-0.
Do you see it?
I actually didn't see it until somebody told us one of the questions the other day.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing probably on Twitter every once in a while you'll see some stuff getting retweeted and stuff like that.
So you look at, obviously you're at Stanford. You're a student athlete at Stanford. Your coach came out this week and basically said, hey, we're not doing satellite camps. Weren't a big deal to us because not every kid around the country can get in to Stanford. It's academically challenging. What is the challenge for you to make your grades and make a difference on the football field? How difficult is that?
Yeah, it is very difficult, and he has a point. It takes a different breed of athlete to be able to get into Stanford. I'm talking about of all of our 36 varsity sports. It's just so much time management and so much responsibility that you have to have at 18 years old. And you're really thrown in fast. It's a baptism by fire. And there's some supportive staff there if you need it, but all of us athletes are done a lot of things on our own that we want to try to do things on our own too, and so it makes it a lot harder. But balancing it for me, it was tough right off the bat when I was a freshman, but managed well, and I've actually been taking 20-plus credit hours every semester since I've been here. So I'll graduate this December, which is two quarters early because
that's a job.
With 2 majors and a minor. So
that's a job unto itself. Are academics that much more difficult at Stanford? Do we overhype that at all, or is it truly challenging on a different level mentally for you?
I do think that it's a little more challenging, but it's also more rewarding because you're going to other schools, and I'll talk to one of my friends who's in a sociology class, and I'll ask him, what was your, like, by any chance, what are you reading? One of my majors is sociology, the other is the science of technology. And so I'll ask him, like, what was in your social class? And he says, oh, we were reading a book by Granovetter. And I said, oh, that's my professor. And so, it is tougher, and like it's probably really hard to BS an essay on the guy who wrote the book that you're studying. But you're also like learning a lot more because this guy really, really knows his field. These are the best teachers, the best professionals in their field, and so we're able to get a lot more deeper into it. And some majors are easier than others. Some are a little more opinion based. So if I'm writing a paper on what I feel how I feel education should be solved in other cities, you can't really tell me my opinion is wrong. But then there's like these science and technology classes, management science and engineering classes, where it's more data driven or mathematically driven. And there's no way that our math classes are easier than others. I mean, it is very tough.
Yeah, I hear you. Harisson Phillips from Stanford is our guest on the Monty Show. And one of the other things that comes to mind is if school's difficult, I would imagine it's easier to play D-line when you have a great linebacking core like you guys do at Stanford. Does that, because your linebackers look like, I mean, if on paper matters, your linebackers look like they're going to be really good this year. Does that free you up? Does that give you a little more confidence to go and do whatever you need to do on the D-line when you know those guys have your back?
I would say yes. I 100% agree with you. Our linebacking core is very, very strong. We have depth and athleticism at their size. It is very, very unbelievable. But I mean, more how the scheme of things work, it's very hard for them to free me up. And so I think it'd almost be reversed with these stout, solid linebackers. I'll be more trying to get double team, trying to get triple team, trying to have blocking schemes come to me so they can't be freed up. There might be situations where if one of our linebackers is doing really well, Bobby, our starting inside linebacker, maybe that week the coaching point for them is to chip up to the next level quicker. And if that's the case, then yeah, I'll get double teamed, he'll come off, and I could be right there in the gap. However, I know just kind of like how last season went with our linebackers, how last season went with Solomon, and how football really works. Most likely, if I could be a force in the middle, I'll free those guys up, and you'll be hearing their names called constantly. And hopefully, I was beneficial to them in that process.
Well, but that means your name's not going to get called a lot. I mean, that part? I mean, that's part of the gig, right? Being a defensive lineman. You talked about you're running into guys that are bigger than you, and I mean that's a physical job. Is there a thankless quotient to that? To being a good defensive lineman, stopping the run's one thing, but if you're freeing up linebackers, your name's not going to get called a lot.
Absolutely, yeah. So I gave a speech to the guys this season, this off season, on one of our performance news things, and I said, you have to do your job. And so this season, I won't lead the team in sacks. I might not even be top 5 with the amount of athletes that we have on our team this season. It's unbelievable, but that doesn't mean we can't lead the nation in sacks. And so, I know statistics are very, very cool, and then once again, especially for the media and the fans, it can be glorified, all these cool tackles for loss and sacks. And I will not lie, I love that part of football. It is my favorite part of football.
Of course it is.
But even watching Solomon, who had a good statistical season, he was drafted number 3 in the draft. There were people with 16 sacks who didn't go till the second round. So obviously statistics don't matter, and if I can be disruptive, if I can push a double team, push a pocket enough that a quarterback can't step up so our backers can get there. The right people who need to see that will see that, and the stars will align.
Harisson Phillips on the Monty Show, brought to you by Harmon Solar. Good luck, stay healthy, and good luck stopping the run in the Pac-12 this year, because there's a lot of good backs.
I know, they're big boys too. So I really appreciate you for having me on. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you bet.
All right.
Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah,
good luck, stay healthy.
Yes, thank you.